My name is Richard Londraville. I am a professor of biology.
What do you teach?
I teach the intro course, Principles of Biology, advanced courses like cell physiology and cell physiology lab, and I've taught courses in the IB PhD program also.
In 20 words or less, tell us what you are currently researching.
We are working on the effects of a hormone called leptin on bone metabolism in zebrafish.
Any tips for students on how to ace your class?
The trick to acing my class is to come to office hours. So I'm the guy writing the tests, I'm the guy grading the tests, so you should come talk to me.
What is the most memorable moment you've ever had as a professor here at Akron?
Myself and Dr. Navarowski, we teach classes in Tahiti. It was probably on one of those Tahiti trips. I was diving with a bunch of students and we were taking pictures, and a turtle came to check us out and swam right up to the camera, just gave us a nod and then swam away, and then the students totally geeked out.
What are your favorite creatures to work with in biology and why?
I'm a fish dude, as you can probably see here. I've worked on really little fish to really, really big fish. I worked on great white sharks and marlin and sailfish. Also worked on some really big non-fish whales up in Alaska. And so I'm pretty much a water sort of creature animal guy.
What is your absolute favorite lecture topic to present to students?
I think it's all cool. But if I had to pick something, I would say evolution. Evolution is probably my favorite thing to talk about.
Why should a student interested in a career in healthcare come to UA Biology over any other Ohio school?
One thing that we can offer you here in biology that is really necessary and also hard to get is the chance to work in somebody's lab. Hundreds of our alumni in the past have gotten their names on scientific papers, and that's going to give you a big leg up going to apply to medical school.
Tell us what you love about biology.
Just how new it is and how it's always changing. You know, this is my 26th year at Akron. I've taught cell physiology for every one of those 26 years, and every year it changes. There's just so much information, so exciting. It's such a great time to be a biologist.
What aspect of biology blows your mind?
There's a paper a couple weeks ago where they have now grown a brain with eyes in a dish. I think that sort of thing is really going to shake things up in biology and what we can possibly do in the lab.
What is your best experience with the tiered mentoring program?
Probably the best experience I ever had, where there was a couple undergrads working with me and Dr. Duff at the same time. They helped us make this big discovery in our field. We got a lot of national and international press from it, and it came from these undergrads working with Dr. Duff and in my lab, just doing the hard work and being smart.
Have any of the students you've worked with had experiences working in our local hospitals or with local physicians?
A lot of the students I have worked with are local physicians. So I've had students that come through our lab that are now heading up the emergency medicine department at Akron General. There are students that work in a lot of the area hospitals.
What did you do before coming to Akron?
Before coming to Akron, I was at Stanford University as a postdoc at their Marine Station. And before that, I was at University of Maine, and I did a lot of my PhD work in Antarctica. And before that, I was at Long Island University in New York.
What is your favorite book?
Oh boy, my favorite book. I'm a real sci-fi nut, so I just reread Dune, getting ready for the movie. But then I also like classical stuff like Grapes of Wrath, probably one of my favorites.
What is your favorite movie?
I'd like to say something really highbrow, but really my favorite movie is Step Brothers. It's the funniest thing. Make me pee my pants laughing watching Step Brothers anytime.
What are you listening to these days?
I like a lot of old school punk, like The Clash, Dead Kennedys, Elvis Costello, and I also like lots of funk, like old Stevie Wonder, Parliament Funkadelic, George Clinton. But then, I just listened to a podcast series about Dolly Parton's America, and I've been listening to some of her old bluegrass, and she's a phenomenal songwriter. So I like a lot.
What is your favorite website?
Favorite website is probably Deal News. I'm a real massive bargain hunter, and Deal News every day, all kinds of things I should not buy.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in a little town called Potsdam. It's about 15 miles from the Canadian border in New York. Probably the coldest place I have ever lived, and I spent 6 months in Antarctica.
What is one thing people may not know about you?
I have an extensive ukulele collection.
How useful would you be in a zombie apocalypse?
I think I would be totally useless in a zombie apocalypse because I would be geeking and saying things like, well, they don't have the muscle mass to be that strong. This can't possibly work. And then I'd be dead.
If you weren't a professor, what would you be?
Well, there's a lot of things I would like to be. I would like to be an artist, but my only talent seems to be in pottery. I can't draw. I'd like to be a musician, but again, lack of talent, but I really, really enjoy music. Probably some kind of people organizer, some sort of nonprofit organizing people somehow.